If you are seeking a premium story-rich JRPG experience, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, the debut title from French studio Sandfall Interactive, is, in my view, not only a contender for Game of the Year, but arguably in the conversation for one of the best games in the genre. Before diving into this review, I want to be clear, there will be no spoilers, nor any cutscenes shown. One of the game's greatest strengths lies in its narrative, which masterfully subverts expectations and rewards the player with its revelations. If this title is on your radar, I strongly recommend avoiding any spoilers and simply experiencing it for yourself. You will not be disappointed. I completed the game on PC via Steam, running on maximum graphical settings and expert difficulty. Over approximately 60 hours of gameplay, I encountered only one minor bug, which was easily resolved with a reload. Technically, the game ran flawlessly. However, for those intending to play on PC, I highly suggest using a controller. Combat demands precise timing, and some of the optional content includes Parker-like segments that are far more manageable with analog controls. On that note, there were moments where the game seemed to forget the Lune can levitate, particularly during platforming sequences, creating a bit of a dissonance between narrative logic and game mechanics. As someone with over 4,000 hours in Baldur's Gate 3, with Shadowheart as a personal favourite, I'm intimately familiar with the talent of Jennifer English, who delivers a phenomenal, award-worthy performance as Maelle. The rest of the cast also delivers strong, emotionally grounded performances that enhance the story's impact. Memorable RPGs are built upon the foundation of richly developed, emotionally resonant characters. The trio of Gustave, Lune and Maelle are particularly impressive, each bringing depth and nuance to the unfolding story. That said, later party members lack the same gravitas and cohesion, with skill sets that feel less intuitive and more cumbersome to use effectively. While the game offers the illusion of deep combat customization, its mechanics tend to favour a highly offensive playstyle, making traditional stats like HP and defense largely irrelevant once parrying and dodging are mastered. For someone like me who prefers glass cannon builds, this played to my strengths, but it may alienate those seeking other playstyles. Relationship building is present and adds emotional depth, as well as unlocking powerful abilities. Even party members left at camp gain some experience, ensuring they're not entirely obsolete if brought back into rotation. However, the game occasionally forces specific character usage for story or combat reasons, so it's wise not to neglect them entirely. Clair Obscur is a game that proudly embraces its JRPG roots, both to its credit and, at times, its detriment. It delivers emotional storytelling with conviction, but offers minimal player choice and a largely linear narrative. While a new Game Plus mode is available, the limited interactivity in shaping the story detracts from long-term replayability. Combat is one of the game's standout features, blending timing-based dodges, parries and jumps with challenging enemy design. Boss battles in particular deliver genuine thrills. However, optional content begins to show diminishing returns, enemies become HP sponges, and the absence of improving damage until very late in the game makes some encounters feel like a slog. I recommend focusing on the main narrative until you unlock the ability to deal beyond 9,999 damage, which drastically improves pacing. The game world is rich with side content, though its quality varies widely. Some side areas offer meaningful narrative expansions, while others feel like filler, containing little more than cosmetic rewards or flavourless NPC interactions. I personally prefer fewer, more curated experiences that enrich the narrative and mechanics. It took me around 25 hours to complete the main story, with an additional 40 spent on side content and achievements. The game is visually stunning, with a distinct art direction that supports and enriches the overarching narrative. The musical score deserves special praise. It's among the finest I've encountered in years, providing an evocative soundscape that elevates the emotional tone of the experience. That said, the sheer abundance of side content dilutes the narrative intensity, softening its overall impact. Importantly, Clair Obscur avoids many of the more divisive trends in modern game development. There's no political messaging and no manipulative marketing. It's a sincere, self-contained experience, and Sandfall Interactive should be applauded for their transparency and creative integrity. While it's easily the best game I've played since Baldur's Gate 3, the two are vastly different in scope, tone, and ambition, so comparisons are ultimately unhelpful. Clair Obscur may not have the viral appeal of games with romance arcs or meme-worthy banter, but it offers a mature, focused narrative that demands to be taken seriously. Overall, I recommend Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The game is for those who crave emotionally resonant storytelling, finely tuned combat, and a beautiful, imaginative world. It won't appeal to everyone, but for JRPG veterans or narrative-driven players, it's a deeply rewarding experience and a worthy candidate for Game of the Year.